Let's look at the volume of triangular prisms. Today is June 1st. So volume of triangular prisms you will find easier than the surface area of triangular prisms. Generally, students just find volume calculations to be simpler. So let's get our title down and get going. So you don't need to have all the colors this time. I won't be asking you to do a net for these. And I will try to clarify some of the kind of confusing parts of volume of triangular prisms as best as I can. So as a refresher from when we looked at rectangular prisms, volume is the area of the base times the height of the prism. Okay, so for a triangular prism, what do you think the base might be? The base is a triangle. So we'll use our area of a triangle. Our area of a triangle is our base times height divided by 2. And then our height is the distance between the two triangles. So I usually change my height to a length. Just to save some confusion. Sorry, this to L for triangular prisms. So what this ends up meaning, therefore, and this is a really shorthand way of writing therefore, it's much quicker. My volume, if it's going to be the area of the base, it's going to be base times height divided by 2. And this will then be multiplied by the height of the prism, or what I call length. So some teachers, you might see a slightly different formula for this. This is just how I always use it and explain it. They'll all do the same thing, just might be a different way of explaining it. So let's look at a triangle and start labeling things to try to clarify a little bit. So here's my triangle. So my base of my prism is the triangle. And for my triangle calculations, I have my base here, which is going to be 5 centimeters. And I have my height of the triangle, which we'll just make that 5 centimeters too. So my height, 5 centimeters. And then we're calling this distance here length. And we'll make that 5 centimeters because we're keeping it simple. Right? So we just take these two that relate to the triangle, multiply them by each other, then divide by 2, and then we multiply by the length, or the distance between the two triangles. So in practice, this would then be 5 times 5 divided by 2 times 5. So 5 times 5 gives us 25, divided by 2 times 5. 25 divided by 2 will give us 12.5 times 5. We end up with 62.5. Our unit was centimeters. We're dealing with volume, so we cube it. Let's try one more example where all the numbers will not be the same, and then you'll get a chance to try the assignment on your own. Okay. I hope, if anything, this might also be a little bit of a lesson of how to draw a okay triangular prism on graph paper. So let's draw some dimensions here. So we'll say that this is 2 centimeters. This is 4 centimeters. And here is 2 centimeters. Now the first thing I want to do is I want to write out my formula that I came up with. And that's what you should be doing as you solve these problems. Base times height divided by 2 times length. So then I just need to figure out what's my base, what's my height, what's my length. So base is that bottom of the triangle. So I'm going to have 4, and then my height is the height of the triangle, times 2 divided by 2. And my length is the distance between the two triangles, times 2. 4 times 2 gives me 8, divided by 2, times 2. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4, times 2, and I'm left with 8 centimeters cubed. And there you have it, volume of triangular prisms. So feel free to try the questions. There will be ways for you to access help with this as well, and have a great week.